Hey there, it's Kate. And yes, I have not been here for a few days, and that has been because I had this thing called a knee replacement. And I am going to talk to you today about how I have coped with that. First, I want to say that anybody who gets through this, my hat goes off to you. This is not the easiest operation to rehabilitate from. In fact, it's extremely painful. And the exercises are tough, and you just have to keep on doing them twice a day. And then there's this machine, I call it the torture machine, and my physical therapist calls himself the physical torturer, because none of this is without pain. And although they say many times there's no pain without gain, let me tell you that sometimes I have felt, am I gaining or am I not gaining? I am 2 weeks and 1 day since surgery. And I can tell you the first couple of days, wow, that was fantastic until the nerve block wore off. And when that wore off, I started to really ask myself why I did this. Now, I know why I did this, and half of my pain is probably attributed to the fact that I've been told to do this since 2016, and this is now 2023, and I'm not stubborn at all. Yes. But what happens to me is I'm one of those people that squashes my needs and my pain sometimes for the needs of my family. And this time it did do a little backfire on me because, one, it locked up my knee even further, but two, it locked up my hip on my other side of my body. And I did not realize how much until I had this operation. So I don't want to talk any more about the operation, but I do want to talk about when we're dealing with different sorts of pain and when we have to go through rehabilitation or pain or something painful. What I have found is a couple of things. Prayer, of course. Prayer is my first go-to, and I rely heavily on my Jesus and my God. But I also understand that I need to do things physically for myself. Now, with this whole operation, of course, comes the fact that, one, I have a very rare blood, I don't know whether you call it a disorder or anything, but it makes people go, ah, and that was a part of the panic that was going on with this operation. And then afterwards, I can't take some of the really heavy duty drugs that they're giving us. And I'm going to tell you right now, as a health coach and an essential oils coach, I was shocked at how freely somebody wanted to give me narcotics or opioids. I'm allergic to both, thank goodness, because I don't know that I would not have been still screaming for them 2 weeks and 1 day later. Because let me tell you, ladies, the Advil cuts a certain amount of the pain, but when you then put on top of that nerve pain from really deep work done with inside underneath this initial scar, you're talking, yes, some constant heavy duty pain that sometimes I've gone, I wish I could just sleep through this until it was over. And this is a concern because it was almost like, I mean, I wasn't even prescribed in the end a painkiller because I said I would like to take the same high dose of Advil that I took with my last surgery, and nobody ever prescribed it. Luckily, I knew what to take and I was able to take care of myself. But here I found that they were very willing to write me a lot of scripts for a lot of opioids and narcotics, which I could not have, and also some other drugs that I was actually allergic to as well. And I had to dig deep to find that. But it seemed that I was handed out a lot of information about how I could have these really heavy duty drugs, which are now, in many instances, the leading case in many people becoming addicts. They're becoming addicted to opioids and addicted to narcotics. And these are prescription drugs. So because I could not take those, I went into my arsenal. What is my arsenal? Well, as a health coach and a life coach and essential oils coach, I know that there are alternative methods, and I dug into my deep pockets of oils and knowledge and learning to find out how I could help myself. So, I am one of those people that I truly believe that if you pray and believe, then, God is going to meet us halfway. But when you have had something physically done to you, there's only so much that's going to cover. And when it doesn't cover all of it, you have to start going, well, I believe in you, God, to lead me to the other natural resources that I can use to help me through this. One of the biggest things I fought off is a migraine, and that's probably come from tenseness, keeping my shoulders tense because trying to keep yourself, above the pain level. And so I would say at least 3 times in the last 2 weeks, here comes the jagged lightning, which always happens on my left side, by the way. It goes, da, 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 and it comes, and I'll just be looking at something, and suddenly I see it. And I know immediately, grab the peppermint. If I don't have Marty's Mix mixed up, which is a blend of 3 oils for migraines, and if I'm lucky, I get a warning sign or an aura that this is going to happen. So my peppermint has been a very big go-to for me, and I don't leave home without it because that little aura can start at any time. Now, I'm telling you, 1 drop here, 1 drop here, a drop across my forehead and on the back of my neck, and within 3 minutes, that aura is gone and the headache does not come. That is my personal experience. It is also my family's personal experience. I only use Young Living essential oils because I know they're pure. I know where they come from. I know where they're distilled. I know where they're farmed. They're the only essential oils that have their own farms that you can go and visit. And if you want to know where to go and visit one, you ping me at the bottom of here where the comments are, and I will tell you all about that. So my peppermint has not been very far from me. When my legs started to wake up and I realized that the majority of the pain, from the incision and everything was subsiding, I then was going, what is this other pain that I'm having? And I was pleased to find out it was nerve pain, sort of like neuropathy in my knee. And so what I do, I went and I got an arsenal of oils, which is still on my desk, right in front of my computer, actually. And I mixed myself up this amazing little concoction of about 6 oils. I could have put more in there. And in fact, I'm actually going to add 1 more to it, an oil called Valor, which actually helps with bone growth and ligament growth and that sort of thing. So I am going to add that one because of some knowledge that I gained from my physical therapist the other day. But I can tell you, this has been a lifesaver for me. I can't apply this on the wound, and I cannot apply anything on the wound until the scab is gone and the steri strips have fallen off. But I can tell you, then I will be applying lavender so that my scar is minimal. But lavender is yet to come in this process. But I mixed up my nerve oils, and I also had another oil called Deep Relief. Now, Deep Relief has quite a few of the oils in it that my nerve mixture does. And then the other one that I also had, which has, I would say, at least 2 of the main ingredients for nerve damage in it, was Panaway. Now, Panaway, if I forget to take my tablets. I'm not a very good tablet taker. I forget. I'm not used to taking pain pills. I'm not used to taking anything. So I forget. And when I forget, my first thing I go to is I'll grab the pen away, and I can rub that everywhere around my knee as long as it is not on the incision. And I'm telling you, these have been my go-tos to get through this grueling period. This is going to be disappearing, but I believe maybe not for another week, maybe not for another 2 weeks, but it will disappear. My biggest problem is sitting on a chair or riding in the car because my leg just doesn't like certain positions. What happens when I cannot sleep because I'm a side sleeper? Right now, I've managed to just get to sleep on my side. But what do I do when I can't sleep? Well, that comes down to one, I put my oils on, but also I am using meditation. Now, I know for some people who are Christians or they think meditation is a woo-woo thing that is not, what would you say, valid. It is valid. Because all it is really thinking deeply. And whether that is thinking deeply on a scripture, for me, that scripture is always, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The other scripture I sometimes use is trust in the Lord with all of your heart, lean not on your own understanding. But I do this by getting myself into a place of where I am focused on my breath, not on my pain, not on how my knee is feeling at this particular moment, but I focus in on my breathing, just my breathing, breathing in, breathing out. And when you're focused, your brain cannot focus on two things at a time. So when you are focused on your breathing, it cannot then focus wholly on your pain. So your breathing starts to override your pain and it starts to come to the fore. And when the pain tries to push through, then you use your breathing again. By using an oil with this, like a frankincense or stress away, lavender. Sometimes I use a combination of those three oils, and breathing into that while I'm doing my breathing exercises can actually help not only rescind the pain, but release past memories of when I've been in pain, past times that can say, oh, this is going to last as long as that did, or this is going to be worse than that did. And it can calm your brain down. So meditation is a great way of helping with your pain. I know I'm running a little bit long, but I want to give you 4 different meditations that you can use that have meaning to them. The first one is what I call the earth meditation, and earth was made by God. Let's get that one straight. But it is where you allow your physical body to just feel hot, heavy, and acknowledge and feel all the discomfort. So in other words, feel it all and then surrender it to the Lord. And accept that the cycle of life and death is all around you. And nothing is permanent, and that includes your pain. Nothing is permanent. And realize that you are not this body. Your mind and your spirit is not this body, and that your mind, along with listening to your spirit, can overcome the things that are going on in your body. There's 3 more, but I see we're at 14 minutes, so I may talk about those tomorrow. So I just wanted to pop in here and just say I haven't forgotten you, but I'm just not up at the moment for spending a lot of time in my chair in the office, but I do want to keep you abreast of the things that are helping me on my health journey without resorting to heavy duty drugs, but going a more natural way that is helping with my pain, helping with my state of mind, and also helping with my healing. So that's it for me today. And I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will either talk to you tomorrow or before the end of this week. So be sure to check out all my posts about November and being thankful for having abundance of everything in your life in this month of November and for the rest of the year and next year. So until next November, no, not really, until in a couple of days, that's me signing off, and I will see you soon. Bye.